Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here. So, it's time for another movie review today in the Superman standalone movies in live action. And today, guys, I'm going to be ranking a movie released in 2006, which is the fifth live-action one released in theatres, and it is none other than Superman Returns. So this is part of my Blu-ray Superman collection. So this is Superman Returns. Here's the special features of it. So yeah, Superman Returns is what I'll be reviewing today, guys. So yeah, and this movie, directed by Bryan Singer, was released in 2006, and so this was made after a series of unsuccessful projects to resurrect Superman on screen, following the critical and financial failure of Superman 4: Quest for Peace, which is, in my opinion, the worst standalone Superman movie of all time in live action, because it is definitely a very abominable movie. After the series of failures to bring it back on a big screen, Warner Brothers hired Bryan Singer to direct and develop this movie in July 2004. And upon release, the film received generally positive reviews from critics who complimented the visual effects, story, and Bryan Singer's direction. So yeah, however, there was criticism aimed at its runtime and the lack of action. So yeah, and it became overall the 9th highest grossing film of the year 2006. So yeah, and so what's the story about? So, the film tells the story of the title character Superman returning to Earth after a 5-year absence. He finds that his love interest Lois Lane has moved on with her life, and that his arch enemy Lex Luthor is plotting a scheme to kill Superman and reshape North America. So that's the plot, guys. Now, this movie, in my opinion, guys, is very, very underrated, because I actually really do enjoy watching this movie, and I rewatched it last night, guys, and to this day I still enjoy it, and I don't understand why there was negativity towards it, really, or why it didn't do very well at box office to guarantee sequels, sadly, because sequels to this were cancelled due to a box office not doing very well at box office. So yeah, now, so on to good quality. So let's talk about the cast first, guys. So the first actor I like to talk about, guys, is Brandon Routh, who of course plays the title character Superman. They of course could not bring back Christopher Reeve because sadly he passed away in 2004. So rest in peace, Christopher Reeve, my favourite Superman of all time. So Brandon Routh played him, and guys, in my opinion, Brandon Routh was a perfect choice to play Superman, and I don't care what anyone says about his performance, because in my opinion, he nailed the role. Because, right, I mean, some people are going to criticise the movie because they're accusing him of copying Christopher Reeve, but then again, though, guys, you've got to understand that that's exactly what they're trying to do in the movie, because this movie is actually a sequel to Superman 2. So yeah, so it's going to be the same version of Superman from those first two movies, just played by different actors. So yeah, and when I rewatch Brandon's scenes, guys, in my opinion, he did a very amazing job copying the same mannerisms that Christopher Reeve had, and the same way he spoke as well. And he does have a very great resemblance to Christopher Reeve as well, in my opinion, which is really amazing. So yeah, in my opinion, he was definitely a very worthy successor. I mean, thing is, guys, even Christopher Reeve's wife Dana said Brandon Routh looked like her late husband. So yeah, he was definitely a great choice, even for her as well. I mean, if you want to see an example of why he looks so like a young version of Christopher Reeve, take a look at how Christopher Reeve looked in a movie called Street Smart. So yeah, check out how he looked in that, because he does look quite similar to Brandon, in my opinion, in that movie. So yeah, in my opinion, Brandon was a perfect choice, and he did such a great job playing Superman, and he was probably the best actor in the movie, in my opinion, guys, because he played him so well. And in my opinion, he didn't deserve any hate for his performance at all, because he did such a great job playing him. And yeah. Another actor I did also like in his role was James Marsden as Richard White, who is the son of Perry White and Lois's husband. Well, fiancé, because he will be a husband soon. And yeah, he played him really well, guys, and he did a very good job playing him, but personally I prefer him as Cyclops in the X-Men movies. And probably as Sheriff Tom in the Sonic Hedgehog movie. I can't wait for a sequel. And I also did like Eva Marie Saint as Martha Kent. She was actually really good in her role. Obviously, they couldn't bring back Felix Faxter because she unfortunately passed away. So yeah, rest in peace, Felix Faxter. So yeah, but the actor who played in this movie we got was very good in her role, in my opinion. And yeah, I think Phyllis Baxter passed away in 2012, guys. So, and I think she was probably too old to play her, but I think she was in retirement. So yeah, because she retired in around 1992. So yeah, she probably wasn't able to return. So Eva Marie Saint was a very good choice, in my opinion. And I also, as well, did like the addition of Frank Langella as Perry White and Sam Huntington as Jimmy Olsen. I mean, they were good in their roles as the characters. They did a very good job making them like how they are in the comics in terms of personality. But when it comes to continuity with the first two Christopher Reeve movies, in my opinion, they didn't really look like, Jackie Cooper or Mark McClure, in my opinion. So yeah, I feel like, they'd probably work as like their own versions of the characters, not as like, the same version from before they're playing. So yeah, in my opinion, they'd work better as a different version of their characters. So yeah, and also another thing I like to talk about in the movie, guys, is I do love how this movie also includes archive footage that was not used before of Marlon Brando as Jor-El. Like, I really did love the addition of that. Yeah, they used footage combined with CGI, and yeah, it was very impressive, actually. It actually feels like he was actually part of the movie filming scenes because he did such a good job with it. And the footage was really good. And yeah, it felt really nice, and yeah, and of course, they got permission from Marlon Brando's estate to include him, so yeah. And then, of course, his footage would later be restored in Rich John Cutter Man 2, which I'll be viewing after I review this movie. So yeah. And also, another good quality I will say, guys, is I do also love the music, which is composed by John Ottman, who I know have composed in several X-Men movies, so yeah. And in my opinion, he's probably, a very good successor to John Williams in terms of composing music, because when it comes to Superman's movies, because he did a very good job reusing John Williams' original themes in his own way. And the music was just so amazing and really powerful, in my opinion. And I especially love the music that plays when Superman's flying at the end of a movie, which was really great, very powerful as he flies over Metropolis, and then he cuts into a Superman theme as he's flying in the sky, smiling. So I did like that. Very nice. And another thing I do also love, guys, is also the visual effects. Because in my opinion, the visuals and the CGI is very stunning for 2006. And many of it holds up to this day, in my opinion. So honorable mentions, like, I do love as well the opening of the planets in the opening sequence. That was really amazing. And getting to hear John Williams' theme, recomposed by John Ottman, it was very good. Although, in my opinion, I wish we didn't cut out part of it, because in the intro, they do cut out some part of the theme to make it shorter. Like, I wish we included the full theme. And also, another thing when it comes as well to the visuals is, my favourite part of the movie, guys, is one of my favourite parts, absolutely, is definitely the plane scene. Like, they did a very good job showing Superman being a hero that he is, coming back into action, saving it. It was really great and very visually stunning, in my opinion, for its time in 2006, and very impressive CGI. It was really good. It holds up to this day. It was very impressive. Like, and yeah, it was really cool. And I also as well do love a scene where he stops a criminal who's got a massive minigun firing at a policeman. Like, and the scene where the criminal tries to shoot him in the eye, but the bullet hits his eye and disintegrates, that was also visually stunning, in my opinion. I did love that. That was really cool. And also the scenes when Metropolis is being destroyed by the mass growing underground, causing earthquakes. That was also really well visual as well, in my opinion. Really good. It was very impressive. And yeah, and also as well, when it also comes as well to other things, I did also as well like the addition of Jason, who is the son of Lois. He was actually pretty cool. I did like his scenes, and he's of course revealed to be Superman's son, not Richard's son. So yeah, it was really interesting to see how his existence came to be. How does he exist? So yeah, it was pretty cool actually, really. Tristan Lake LeBeau did a very good job playing Jason, and yeah, so yeah. At first, we don't know if he's a son or not because he has asthma and stuff like that, which Superman does not have, of course. But then, if really he is his son, because he throws a piano at one of Lex Luthor's henchmen that's attacking Lois. So if that's proven, and of course he shows a sign of discomfort around kryptonite, Superman's weakness. So I did like Jason, guys. He was pretty good, and yeah. And however, guys, there is like a number of bad qualities which prevents it from being as good as. This is probably my fourth favourite movie in the Superman standalone movies after original Superman 2, Man of Steel, and the first movie for 1978. So it's all bad qualities, I will say. So, for example, when it comes to characters, guys, I personally could not stand Lois in this movie played by Kate Bosworth. Like, you know, Lois, in my opinion, was very, very annoying. I could not stand Lois at all. Like, all the time she was speaking, she always sounded so angry all the time, and I did not like that, you know. There's no way Margot Kidder from the first two films, that version of Lois would be like this version at all. No way. Because she had great charisma, in my opinion, compared to Kate Bosworth, and also not to mention, Lois and Superman barely had any chemistry in the movie, which I hated. So yeah, they had any chemistry, and also when it comes to Lois' interactions with Clark, don't get me started on the scene where they walk out to Daily Planet, and Clark obviously take her out for dinner somewhere to like have a catch up or something because he's missed her for 5 years. But then she compares him to someone else who also disappeared for several years. Like, really, Lois? That's where I couldn't take her seriously, guys, because she was so annoying. And yeah, she's probably the worst part of the movie because she really did my head in. And yeah, it was her satisfying when she's trying to escape from, you know, that kitchen of Lex Luthor's yacht, and it's filling up with water. It was actually pretty satisfying when Medora's ship banged her head and she fell unconscious. That was actually pretty satisfying. So like thinking, thank you, because she was such an annoying character, guys, in this movie. Probably the worst part of it. And yeah, and in my opinion, Kate Bosworth is probably the worst Lois, in my opinion, when it comes to her movies. I also thought it didn't really like Parker Posey as Kitty, who is Lex Luthor's henchwoman. She was pretty annoying, in my opinion. Didn't really like her. She's meant to be like a new version of Eve Tessmacher, but, you know, she was nowhere near as great of a henchwoman as Eve, in my opinion. I think I prefer Eve Tessmacher far more, to be honest, guys, because she was pretty annoying in this movie, Kitty Kowalski. But yeah, but for what it's worth, I do think Parker Posey was better in this one than her role in Blade Trinity, in my opinion, because that movie, in my opinion, is trash. But I think she was way better in this movie, actually. And let's not forget as well the most infamous casting of a movie in today's society, which is, of course, Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. Oh, God. Okay, I'm going to be honest, guys, right? If I was doing this review in 2006, I'd have probably said that I thought he did a great job playing Lex Luthor. They did a great job playing him. But now, because I know who he really is in real life after what he was exposed as in around 2017, I think it was, he has lost my respect, guys. So, yeah, I'm not going to give any kind words to him or any of his performances anymore because of what he did. So, yeah. And rewatching his scenes last night was pretty uncomfortable to watch. Like, you know, like whenever I watch his scenes, I'd usually turn away and do something else because, you know, I just couldn't stand seeing him on screen because, you know, I know what he is in real life. And, yeah, didn't like it, really. And of course, even if I did like this version, I still to this day prefer Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor from the Christopher Reeve movies. And also Jesse Eisenberg from the DC Extended Universe's movies as well. But yeah, I just couldn't stand Lex Luthor in this movie, to be honest, guys. Just didn't like him. Not to mention, he was also very different to how Gene Hackman played him, because this time he was way more dark and serious this time. So yeah, like he didn't really have, you know, the comedic charm that Gene Hackman had playing him, which I didn't like, to be honest. So yeah, And also, when it comes to director Bryan Singer, guys, I used to like him as a director until I lost respect for him a couple of years ago because he, like Kevin Spacey, he's done pretty inappropriate things. So yeah, he lost my respect, guys, and yeah, there's a reason why he's been dropped out of several projects and not been credited in them, which he directed, you know, due to what he's done. So yeah, so I used to like him, but yeah, not anymore. And also, another bad quality I will say, guys, is that several of Lex Luthor's henchmen, aside from Kitty, of course, I've already talked about her, they're pretty, you know, underused and underdeveloped, in my opinion. And for example, Kal Penn plays one of them called Stanford, and he doesn't even say one line in a movie, guys, as far as I remember, because I'm pretty sure he says no lines at all. So yeah, like, I think we need a better development. And also, another bad quality I will also say, guys, is that the movie does drag on a bit way too long, in my opinion, because it runs at 154 minutes, so it's like 2 hours and 30 minutes. So yeah, another 26 minutes and it would have been, you know, a 3 hour long movie like Endgame runtime. So yeah, I feel like it dragged on way too long in my opinion. Especially because there's not as much action either as the previous movies, sadly, because most of it is not really action, to be honest. You know, I've noticed that there's not very much action, but the action scenes in the movie, guys, however, are definitely, you know, worth the watch in my opinion. And yeah. And also, when it comes as well to Superman confronting Lex on his island, created by the mass he's created, it is pretty heartbreaking to watch seeing Superman, who's been depowered by the kryptonite laced in the surface, being beaten up by Lex and his henchmen. Like, that is heartbreaking to watch, in my opinion. And Brandon made it very believable, in my opinion, guys. You know, it actually felt like he was actually being attacked, guys. It really did feel like it. And of course, when he gets stabbed by a kryptonite as well and he screams, oh, it's heartbreaking, in my opinion. But still, great actor by Brandon Routh, in my opinion. He did a great job playing Superman, yeah. So, yeah, I feel like Superman was probably the best part of the movie. You know, Brandon Routh was probably the best actor in the movie. Everyone else was probably almost as good, and others just fell flat, in my opinion. So, yeah. And I guess one good thing I could also say about the movie is, I do like how this movie completely wipes out from existence the god-awful, in my opinion, Superman 3 and 4. You know, from the 80s, you know, 983, 987, because this movie feels like a way better Superman 3 than the actual Superman 3 we got in 983. Because that movie is just trash, guys. It's just a comedy movie. It's not even a proper Superman movie at all. It's just a comedy movie. And this movie, however, does feel like a Superman movie. So I do like that. And of course, it definitely, of course, was Superman 4, which in my opinion is the worst one, and absolute trash. Absolutely trash, in my opinion. This movie was way better. So yeah. And there's also one of our bad quality will say, guys, which is like a plot hole regarding Jason. Because, right, he's able to lift a piano and push it towards the henchman called, I think it's called Brutus. And it kills him. But the thing is, though, he and Lois then get locked into that, you know, little kitchen room, I think it is, yeah, in the ship. And then after this, however, the problem is, they get locked in, but Jason, despite having superhuman strength, he doesn't even attempt to break down the door to get out. So, like, if he really is as strong as Superman by proving it, by able to, you know, throw a piano, why didn't he attempt to punch down the door or, like, kick it down with his powers, you know? I mean, they were wanting to escape because Lois tried to escape by hitting the window, but it wouldn't work. So, like, why didn't Jason just, you know, punch the wall, you know? Didn't really allow it, to be honest. So yeah. But nonetheless, though, guys, despite the fact that of those bad qualities, such as, you know, the presence of actors who had actually don't being Kevin Spacey, and also didn't like Lois either, or several, I think Lex's henchmen needed better development as well, and also a runtime of the movie, and also a lack of action. To this day, guys, I still consider it to be a very underrated movie, and if not, probably DC's most underrated movie, in my opinion, because, you know, not a lot of people talk about this movie, you know, many forget about it, sadly, but I personally still enjoy it to this day. Like, I tend to rewatch it quite a lot, usually, and if it does hold up well, and I also watched it at the cinema, guys, in 2006, it was great to watch, and as a bit of an honourable mention, there was several parts where people cheered and clapped. For example, the plane scenes is where people clapped when Superman saves a plane. That was great. And also the scene where Superman lifts the ship out of the ocean to save Lois and Richard and Jason. And the music and the background. That's when the entire audience was clapping. And yeah, I can't say blame him because I clapped as well. Yeah, it shows him being a hero. Yeah, like, you know, in my opinion, Brandon Routh, you know, is great as Superman. He didn't deserve any hate at all for his role. At all, because he did such a great job. However, guys, unfortunately, this movie didn't perform well at the box office, and it resulted in Warner Bros. Having to cancel a 2009 sequel that was planned out with a cast supposed to be returning. And, but thankfully, though, guys, despite the fact that Superman was rebooted with Henry Cavill playing him in the DC Extended Universe, however, Brandon Routh's career as Superman wasn't over yet, because he later played Superman, the same version from this movie, in the Arrowverse crossover called Crisis on Infinite Earth, where he plays Superman, which is inspired by the Kingdom Come storyline. So yeah, his career wasn't over just yet as Superman, because he played him again in 2019. And in my opinion, he still got it, because in the Arrowverse, he played the best Superman, and they had him in Arrowverse, in my opinion. In my opinion, he deserves another movie and maybe even a TV show, because he's great in the role and he deserves a chance to. I mean, he's left Legends of Tomorrow, no longer playing Ray Palmer, so he could play Superman again, you know? There's all that possibility. However, when it comes to sequels, guys, personally, I think this ending ends it really well and doesn't end up any sequels, because Lex is stranded on an island with Kitty, so yeah, he's been defeated. And Superman reassures Lois that he's here to stay after he tells his son Jason the speech that Jor-El gave him. So yeah, he gave him the exact same speech he gave him from the first movie. And then he flies away, saying that he's here to stay, and he gazes down at the world once again. So yeah, that, in my opinion, beautifully wrapped up the Christopher Reeve trilogy, in my opinion, because I can just be his trilogy, guys. Although, of course, he didn't play this movie because Brandon Routh played him due to Christopher dying. So yeah. Like, I see this movie, guys, as a very nice tribute to Christopher Reeve and to the first movie, because in many areas it does pay homage to the first movie, in my opinion. Like, we get to see Krypton at the very beginning. We see the same city from the first movie, of course. So yeah, so we did a very good job, and we of course heard the music by John Williams, recomposed by John Ottman. So yeah. So in my opinion, guys, this is a very underrated movie and definitely deserves a lot more attention, because I thought it was really good, and I still enjoy it to this day. Don't deserve any hate. I mean, there are some things that I don't like I've already said. You know, it's not a perfect movie in any form or fashion. No, of course not. But in my opinion, it's still a good movie. And when it comes as well to, like, you know, cameos, aside from using Marlon Brando as opposed to his cameo via unused footage and CGI, I did also like having included a cameo appearance by Jack Larson, who plays Jimmy in Adventures of Superman, making a cameo appearance as a bartender, which was pretty cool. The bartender who serves Clark and Jimmy at the pub, which is pretty cool, in Metropolis. And also Noah O'Neill, who played Lois in the TV show and the film series of Superman and from 1948 and Atom Man versus Superman in 1950. She appears as Lex Luthor's elderly wife called Gertrude Vanderwerf in like a brief scene. We even got a cameo appearance by Richard Branson as the engineer above a space shuttle too, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And one of Lex Luthor's henchmen is played by Australian rugby league footballer Ian Roberts, so yeah, if you guys like rugby, then yeah, that's something pretty cool for you guys, but I'm not a rugby fan, but yeah. But yeah, like I said, well, guys, about Lex's henchman, I think we need a better development, in my opinion. Especially Stanley, because he didn't say one word, if I remember correctly. But yeah. So, guys, if you're wondering how to rank this out of 10, well, I think just like in my ranking video that I did in 2020, I think I gave it the same score that I give it now. Well, guys, I give this movie an 8 out of 10 because I think it's very underrated and doesn't deserve any hate it gets, in my opinion. I appreciate it because it retconned Superman 3 and 4 out of existence, and I believe it also retconned the Supergirl movie from 1984 as well. It retconned that as well. But yeah, I've not seen that movie yet, but I might do one day, maybe. But yeah, so yeah, I do appreciate this movie a lot, guys, and yeah, so yeah, so 8 out of 10 is how I'd rank it out of 10. So guys, this is me reviewing Superman Returns in 2006. So you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to comment what you guys thought of Superman Returns, if you similar to your thoughts are on it. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe for more videos in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press join with PC Allows or you can in the description. And up, and away.